What up, gamers, and welcome to the Gamers Pack Top 10 series, the show where we commemorate the best games the video game industry has to offer. Today's episode is all about 3D action and adventure games, so before we get started, know that all these games don't come in any particular order, because every single one of these games are highly recommended. Now that that's said, my name is Jazzy, and this is the top 10 games you guys should play before you die. One of the best games out there right now is Shadow of the Colossus. We highly recommend you play this game because of the fact that this game is just beautiful. The great thing about this game is that it also houses an awesome story where you follow a man trying to revive a girl he cares about through the death of 16 colossi. Now, the really cool thing about this game is literally the gameplay. It is 16 boss battles where you basically climb up colossi and kill every single one of them using the environments and using their actions. Alright, Batman Arkham Asylum, easily one of the best looking and best superhero games of all time, because you play as Batman, and Batman is a badass in this game. But aside that, it is a dark and gritty game, which is basically the Batman comic book series. And the cool thing about this game is that the gameplay is also awesome. There are simple controls, but are hard to master. There's also different gadgets you could use in the environment and against bad guys, and there's bad guys that come straight from the comic book, which becomes epic boss battles in the game. Alright, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is a huge game. Now, we're not going to talk about the story because honestly, all the story in the Grand Theft Auto series is one of the best I've ever heard of. But the biggest thing about San Andreas is literally the gameplay and the features it houses. CJ is a hell of a badass, and he is also funny in this game. Not only can you customize him, you can also customize almost everything in the game. You want to be buff as hell, you can do that. You can be skinny. You have a bunch of cars to go through, and there's 3 cities this time. The story is very long to the point where you're still entertained to play, and once you finish it, oh my god, it's really good. It's really that good. You guys should check it out. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now, I can't stress enough that this is one of the best games of all time because of the fact that it houses an epic tale where you play as the hero of time taking on the forces of Ganondorf. The cool thing about the game is it's also the change between 2D and 3D, which changed the landscape throughout the whole Legend of Zelda series. The cool thing about the game is the fact that you're more personalized with the bad guys, and you get to go one-on-one with them by stabbing, slashing, dodging, and even using items against enemies. Certain magic to Dark Souls that makes people keep coming back for it, and it's literally that. You'll die in this game because of the fact that you, as the player, get to figure out what the hell's going on in Dark Souls. The great thing about Dark Souls, unlike other games, is that it won't hold your hand. Everything you do in the game is your fault. If you want to finish the game without completing the side missions or some parts of the story, that's entirely up to you. But literally, the best thing about the game is the fact that every single thing you do in the game is a direct cause of your actions. Hideo Kojima is a genius when he came out with Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 1 because of the fact that this game literally tripped out a lot of people. Now, there's normal stealth games like Tenchu and every other stealth games out there for the PlayStation 1, but Metal Gear made a mind-blowing statement that it is different, particularly in the Psycho Mantis stage. I'm not going to get into that, but that's a good example why Metal Gear Solid is one of the best games out there. This is literally a spy mission as well, so you get a bunch of gadgets, you get to hide in the little box, you get to see a lot of Easter eggs within the game, and of course the fact that this game is extremely cinematic is also the thing that makes it epic. Now, if you guys haven't played it yet, Tomb Raider Anniversary is one of those games you guys really have to play, especially if you guys are beginning in the Tomb Raider franchise. It's a good homage to pay for the original Tomb Raider in 1996, but with better controls. Since it uses the Tomb Raider Legends engine, the great thing about the game is that the controls are awesome, plus it houses the great story the first Tomb Raider has. And the great thing about it is that you get 3 additional games, which is the Tomb Raider trilogy. Kingdom Hearts came as a surprise to a lot of people because of the fact that it was the first time Final Fantasy characters interacted with Disney characters, but once you play it, you'll realize that this game actually houses a very heartwarming and at the same time heartbreaking story of three friends. Now, aside from the story, the game also had a very solid gameplay because as dorky as Sora looks, he's actually pretty badass. He has some hardcore moves that are really cool to see, and this is the only game you get to summon Disney characters as both helpers and attackers. Now, The Last of Us is one of those games we highly recommend you guys play because of the fact that it has multiple awards already, including Game of the Decade, and for good reason. The story follows Joel where you have to escort Ellie to a post-apocalyptic time filled with zombies. Now, with that comes with solid gameplay combining shooting and stealth aspects where you get to also craft items against human AI characters and zombies. And did I mention there's also multiplayer? This game has a lot of content and you guys should really check this out. If we're talking about action and adventure, we cannot state how awesome God of War is, particularly God of War 1, 2, and 3 for the consoles. Now, this game follows the story of Kratos through an epic journey to kill the God of War and kill, of course, the gods of Olympus. What makes this game great is literally the gameplay. It's cinematic and epic in its own way, and every single kill is brutally entertaining. We had to sift through a lot of games to get to the top 10 list, but make sure you guys check these honorable mentions out because they are also worth playing. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe the video. And if we forgot anything on the list, put it on the comment section below. And head over to our Facebook page and our Twitter page and our Twitch page to interact with us. But for more stuff like this, make sure to head to gamerspack.com. My name is Jazzy. Until next time, gamers, you guys keep on gaming.